Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right Podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, and joined by my lovely wife. She's a little gimped up, Miss Southern Shell. Shell, how you feeling?
I'm good.
What's going on? You want to tell everybody what's going on in case there's any questions? I know I can see you on camera that you done got something on your arm there.
I broke my wrist.
What was you doing?
It was a crazy go-karting accident.
Let me tell you what I think happened. I think it was Black Friday. You were shopping. There was the last jar of Blue Plate, and you got to throwing bows and broke your arm on something.
That's a better story than what actually happened.
That's a better story. We'll go with that. Don't mess with Shell. She'll throw bows.
You should see the other one.
Yeah.
I tripped and fell. So Thanksgiving was last week.
We're back. We missed last week. We didn't do a podcast because we took off. Everybody got off here at How to Barbecue Right for Thanksgiving.
It's a national holiday.
It is. It's probably
one of the better ones.
Probably my favorite holiday.
How many total turkeys did you end up cooking this season?
Man.
And I'm including turkey breasts too.
Baker's dozen, maybe. I don't know. It was a lot. I'll tell you what. I don't want to see any turkeys until I can get my revenge on them. Come spring, turkey season. That's when I get all the payback for having to cook all these turkeys and do all the recipes and stuff and the things I have to cook for Thanksgiving. I go out and I hunt them.
But you enjoy eating the turkey.
Oh, I love turkey, but I've had enough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this: the two best ones. Well, the spatchcock turkey that we did the short video with,
where it squirted out.
Oh yeah, that one was fire.
I don't know why that one was
so much
better than the rest of them.
I really don't.
That's how I did it for Thanksgiving.
Did yours turn out that good? Everybody
loved it. It was super juicy. I think I finally hit what y'all run into where like I was tired of turkey. Like I didn't. Yeah. It tasted good. It was more turkey.
So that turkey. And I cooked a whole turkey for Thanksgiving from when my parents came, and for some reason that bird was beautiful.
That was the prettiest turkey you've cooked all.
You know what? I did less to that turkey. I pretty much brined it for 2 days, pulled it out of the brine early that morning, let it dry a little bit. Mm-hmm. I didn't inject it. I just seasoned it with AP and King Crawl. I only threw lemons in the cavities.
That's all we had.
That's all we had. Yeah, because we were down in the farm. And I put it on the pit and cooked it. It cooked exactly 3 hours, and I put it in a pan and then set it in just a Island Breeze cheap Walmart cooler. Put a little aluminum foil over the top, and I had the lid rigged so little air could get in it, so it wasn't just sealed off.
Oh, okay.
And it sat there for 2 hours, and I think that's why it was so good. The 2 hour rest in that cooler.
But you didn't put the full down.
No, I didn't wrap it. I just kind of took a piece of foil big enough to drape over it, and because. The reason why is because when you put something in a cooler like that's that hot, it's going to make a lot of moisture on that lid. And that bird was so pretty that I didn't want that moisture, dripping down on it and messing up the skin. So
It'll make the skin wrinkly.
But the skin, when we took it out, Waylon was there for Thanksgiving. He always carves the turkey, and he carved it. And I was trying the skin. The skin was awesome on that turkey.
Was it crispy?
Yeah, it was still. As crispy as you could get it. But the wings were really crispy. But the skin over the breast and stuff was perfect. And that one and the breast that Kevin sends me from the butcher shop in Pensacola, I'm telling y'all, he probably sold out of them. If he gets more for Christmas, y'all need to try that.
They are awesome.
That's the only other turkey that I would be willing to cook.
Well, there's nothing to it.
For next Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just pull it out of a package. You can inject it.
I could.
Would you brine those?
No, I don't do anything to them. I take them out, and so it's 2 giant breasts. Boneless, but it has the skin all over it. And I take that skin off and separate it into 2 big halves, like a right half and a left half breast.
You kept saying, imagine how big this turkey is.
I know, it's gotta be a 35, 40 pound bird walking around. You know what I mean?
How big was the breast? Like 20 pounds?
No, they're probably every bit of 8 to 10 pounds.
8 to 10 pounds.
Of solid turkey meat that's no waste. And it doesn't shrink up that much when you cook it.
Is that like the whole breast or half a breast?
It's a half.
Okay.
Yeah. I would think the whole thing. No, I mean, I might be exaggerating a little, but it's at least 6 to 8 pounds each one.
Each
It
one.
feels like. I've
They're
never.
huge. They're
They're
huge.
huge.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Anyway, so what'd you do? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, all I do to them, the same AP and Cajun and King Crawl, and I put it up. Usually, what I do is I start them out on a rack, and I'll cook it about an hour and 15 minutes till the outside kind of sits, so that seasoning sits on it. It's not. I can't just wipe it off with my finger anymore. And then I'll tear out me a crisscross double aluminum foil layer, take a stick of butter and slice it in half and lay it down. And then I'll take that turkey breast and flip it over skin, what was the skin side. There ain't no skin on it, but seasoning side down on that breast, put me a probe in it, wrap it up tight, and I just cook it till it's 160. And then I take it off and rest it. And then when you flip it back over, that butter is just melted all over the top of it. I save that stuff because that juice that comes out of that turkey is delicious. And that way, when you flip it over and you slice it, you can drizzle a little bit of that back over it. But I've still got probably, I don't know, a third of one of those breasts left that I've been eating on this week. Just if I need some extra protein or something, I'll go get me a slice of turkey.
I have to just get.
It's so
slice of
good.
turkey.
I mean, it's better than any deli turkey that you'll buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not going to be cheaper, but like it's got to be better for you. These organic, free range Tyrannosaurus turkeys.
You also cooked a ham.
I cooked a ham. We had to
It
have a
was
ham.
good.
I still got some of the ham left.
What was the best thing you ate all weekend? I'm talking like it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. It can be
Best bite of the
That-
holidays.
of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh man, that's tough. There were so many good things.
There was.
It might be your sweet potatoes. It might be my mom's green beans or lima beans.
I had a piece of pecan pie that was fire.
I didn't have any pecan pie. I was good. I didn't have any. I limited to my desserts to a sugar-free lemon ice box that was delicious that my sister-in-law made me. Deviled eggs. I don't know how many deviled eggs I ate. I would just go by
I
and
ate a
pop one.
couple,
During the egg
yeah.
bowl, I ate one every quarter. That's why I will miss one because I ate a deviled egg every quarter for the egg bowl.
Yeah, congratulations on your team winning the egg bowl.
It was a mighty victory.
It was not.
It was an
a sad
intense
little-
game.
It was a sad.
I wouldn't
little
say it was a
victory.
high scoring game. No, it was an egg bowl. It wasn't the best one I ever seen, but they come out with a W. Just hope they get a decent bowl game now.
Yeah, they should. They should.
Real quick, who are you picking for national title?
Oh, Georgia.
They're going to beat Bama in the championship this weekend?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking me.
Oh,
I
no.
definitely think that they were going to beat
I
Alabama.
think
in
they
the
beat Michigan if
championship.
they
That's
face off.
I do think they would.
That's the game I want to see. I
Michigan
want to see
versus
Michigan, Georgia. Yeah. I hope it
It's
comes
going to
down
be a
to
good
that.
game.
I think Florida State's they're done. Their quarterback's out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that game was
I
terrible.
don't think Oregon or Washington can hang with Michigan or Georgia. So
The
I think
Iron Bowl-
Alabama will beat any of those teams. Alabama may not beat Georgia or Michigan, but I think they would beat any. That's your top
Any
three
of the
teams
other
to
ones,
me.
yeah.
And I'd put Ole Miss fourth.
Well, the Iron Bowl was a good game. It
Man,
was crazy.
I don't know what Saban does or what kind of deals contracts he signed with somebody, but to pull that out, what are they calling it? What's that play they ran? They said I forget what it's called, but man, they got so lucky. 4th and 31, and got a touchdown.
I was cheering for Auburn the whole time. I was cheering against Alabama the whole time.
The
Yeah.
whole time. You know, I love. What was the video you showed me? It was to the Grinch, and it had the music of the Who's all swaying, and it was the Auburn fans, and it was like,
Then it said, "When the Grinch comes and steals your Iron Bowl victory at the last second."
that was a good TikTok.
You got a Breeo fire pit.
Yeah, man. Oh, I forgot about the steaks we cooked on that down there.
So what
Those
is
were-
this?
So Breeo is a smokeless fire pit.
What makes it smokeless? Oh, did you see that Snoop Dogg thing?
Yeah, where he quit smoking.
Yeah.
He went to smokeless fire pits.
Yes.
I knew that had to be something.
I did.
I either figured he was going all gummy or edible, or he was pitching something.
It's
But
good advertising.
It was a great
campaign.
advertisement. I don't know which one's
It
he
was
doing.
Solo
Stove.
Stove,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just a Breeo and a Solo Stove are pretty similar.
Did you see Matt Pittman did a take on that?
Oh, did he? He goes smokeless with a fried turkey. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I did see that. That was good too. That was real good. But no, it's basically a fire pit, but it's kind of double layered, and it's got all these holes in it to where the air pulls down through the sides of the fire pit to put oxygen in the fire so it doesn't. So once you get it going, as long as the wood's like below the level of the fire pit, it doesn't smoke. It just puts off heat and fire.
Huh.
So that's what makes it smokeless. But it's still smoke. When you started, ours was smoking. I mean, unless we were doing it wrong. We burned a bunch of wood down. So we started with like split oak wood for the fireplace that I got for our outdoor fireplace down there, and then it's got these cooking grates that are kind of on metal rods, and you can swing them. Yeah, there's 2 different levels of cooking grates for this Breeo, and basically you build your fire and you get your hot coals going. You can add more wood to it and burn them down, and then you swing your grates over it and you can go to cooking. I mean, you can use it, sit around, hang out just like a fire pit. You want to roast marshmallows, whatever you want to do.
Can you take those cooking grates off?
Yeah. Okay. They come off the rod. You just lift them off the rod and the whole thing comes off, and it's just a fire pit at that.
So are they like a attachment that you buy?
Yeah, they are. Okay. It's an accessory. And they also make like those. I think it's got a Sato cross or something like that. You've seen them. It's like the.
Oh yeah.
And they're made to go in the sides of that Breeo and lock in, so you can cook tied up animals.
Yeah.
So they were doing. So when I first saw them, we were at Mossy Oak. They had a big fundraiser down Mossy Oak and was that West Point, Mississippi, and me and Mikey went to it, and they had a dozen of them Breeo fire pits out there. And I met the guys from Breeo, but I'd met them at Memphis in May previously, and they had to they were going to have to dump all the coals out and load them up and take them on back to where I guess they're from up somewhere up here. I think maybe Pennsylvania or somewhere. But they were going to have to take them back, and so they were people that were standing around there watching, still hanging out. They were like, "Y'all want a fire pit?" And I was like, "Man, yeah, I want a fire pit. Were you kidding? I can use that thing. I can cook, and I can even do some videos on it." So that was my plan. So we brought it down to camp, and it's awesome. I wish. So it comes like it's made to sit on the ground, but they said don't set it directly on concrete unless you have the little stand for it.
Do you have the?
So I have the little stand, so we can put it right on the concrete. But what would make it really cool is if it had little casters on the bottom of that stand that you could lock, so you could roll it out. Because I have another little concrete walkway to go from the house to the smokehouse, and we set it out on that walkway, so we had to pick it up and move everything. But if you had it on little casters, you could just roll it up under to keep it out of the elements when you're not using it, and then roll it back out there and lock it in place when you're ready to use it, and put your chairs out there and all your cooking stuff, and just have a big time.
Could you use it inside your smokehouse area where you have that evac?
Yeah, you definitely could. Yeah. It's no different. It's not putting off any more smoke than, say, probably not near as much as the Crank It Up, the Santa Maria style grill.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just an open fire. I mean, it's not going to smoke any more than a Weber when you get it going.
So y'all set it up and did some.
We cooked 2 nights on it. First night, I bought a certified Angus beef whole ribeye.
You didn't tell me it was CAB beef.
Yeah, I went to Superlow and got it in Southaven.
How much was that?
I don't know. It was like $200, something like that. I mean, it ain't cheap, but we got like 14 steaks out of it. So do the math on that. What do you think 14 really good ribeyes would cost at the grocery store? That'd be, $280.
No wonder them steaks were so good.
Oh, yeah, they were melted in the mouth. So we hand cut them the thickness that we wanted. Mark seasoned them up, and he ran the Breeo that night. So we had a big steak. We made Como Steakhouse is kind of a little famous steakhouse. It's a local famous steakhouse here in North Mississippi. It's in Como, Mississippi. And we usually go there the Friday before rifle season, just as a group of hunters. It's kind of our tradition, or it has been for the past 3 or 4 years. And this year we decided we were just going to duplicate our steak dinner at the house. So we did the deep fried pickle spear appetizers. We did a sausage and cheese plate. They have these really good like cooked down mushrooms, and we did those. And then we did baked potatoes, and we did ribeye steaks. And I also had a whole beef tenderloin in the freezer here at the shop, and I took it down there and sliced it up and made big fillets. So we had fillets and ribeye. It was a steak-a-thon. You missed out. I'm sorry.
That's all my favorite things right
I know.
there.
I tried to get you to come. You're like, no, it's just a bunch of guys down there.
I was on a trip.
Yeah, you did. You went on a girls' trip. But Como can't hang with us, Jack. Mm-hmm. I promise you, it was that good. We put the hurting on some, and there was only like 9 of us. So we had a whole ribeye and a whole beef tenderloin cut up into steaks, and there was 9 people. And we all made it to the stand the next morning, too. We didn't shoot anything.
And y'all didn't have that much left over. Y'all didn't have very much left over.
No, we had a good bit left over. We ate on steak all weekend, but we'd eat it for lunch. So we took one lunch, we cut it up and made steak quesadillas, and then we used it to make like steak and gravy one night. So we still eat on it. There wasn't any left. We didn't throw any away.
I got a little sample on Sunday.
Well, the next night, let me tell you about the next night. We still had all these steaks that we cooked the night before in the refrigerator, but we wasn't going to reheat them for dinner. We fired that Breeo up again, and Mark brought these. He's been buying them at the local butcher shop here in town, but it's
what's the name of that butcher shop?
Primo's
in
Hernando on Highway 51 South. I need to go check out Frankie. He's got some awesome stuff too, but it's right around. It's not far from our house. Like it's probably the closest thing you could buy something at from our house.
Probably
closer than the gas station. I got to put now. Who was smart enough to do that? Put a gas station close to my house. That was genius. I mean, not a gas station, a butcher shop. Yeah. If I can get a seafood shop, it's on. I may never move. That may just be my final resting place, living right there. But we bought. He sells these bone-in pork loins, and he cuts them up into thick chops at the shop. You can go in there and just buy a chop.
What's a super thick cut chop?
I'd say
1.5, 2.
Yeah, not quite 2 inches, but right in a bone with meat on both sides of the bone, but we didn't drop any. I mean, they're super thick chops. Now they're as thick as a steak.
And he bought the whole loin?
Yeah, he bought the whole rack, and then cut them up himself because I guess the chine bone had already been cut off these, and they're not Frenched or anything, but you get a good piece of bone to gnaw when you cook them, and that's why everything Frankie sells steak wise is bone in. Because he says bone-in steaks taste so much better than boneless. And I don't disagree with him. There's something about having that bone. It's not as pretty, but you think about a big old tomahawk bone, that meat gnawing around it. I mean, you're paying for the bone, that's true, but you're also gaining the flavor of having it on the bone and all that goodness that leaches out of that bone as it cooks. And I think it keeps the meat juicier being on the bone like that.
The problem I always have is you don't get the great grill marks.
Yeah, because it don't lay as flat.
You sacrifice a little bit of appearance.
Well, our Breeo, even the steaks and the pork chops, they weren't, I wouldn't say they were like steakhouse pretty with the diamond mark. Yeah. We wouldn't go in for that. We're cooking them over open fire on an expanded metal grate. That's what's on that Breeo. And it gets so much caramelization. You get so much of that, delicious crust on the outside from your seasonings. I don't think you miss it by just having, like restaurant look or whatever.
So you're using just wood, no charcoal?
Yeah, no charcoal at all.
Do you feel like
Mark may have put some royal oak in there at first just to get it going because we didn't use kindling or anything, but he used a couple tumbleweeds and a little royal oak to get a base, and then started putting woods on it and burnt that down. We burnt I don't know how much wood we burned.
So I guess the wood becomes your charcoal.
Yeah, it does. We made a whole base. You could have cooked on the pit all night. We had so many good hot coals in there. And it's a fast cook, really, on it when you go to cooking that hot. But with that upper grate on it, you can move the stuff up and slow it and swing it out, so it's just getting residual heat. But
back to your pork chops.
They're larded pork loins.
What does
I don't know exactly what that means, but I can tell you what it looks like. They have ribbons of fat. You would think it's like prime pork because I guess they're doing something to it where they're either injecting. They got to be injecting it some kind of way in this pork. But I've seen people like on social media they've been cooking these in contests like GBAs or these other associations where they have a pork category. And let me tell you, that is the juiciest most flavored pork chop I have ever ate in my life. And I don't know what they're doing I don't know exactly what they're doing to it. It ain't natural. I didn't say they were all natural pork chops. They're putting more fat in a pork chop.
Is Frankie doing that?
No.
He's getting it. So it's like a supplier's doing that.
Yeah. Man, I wish I could remember what brand it was. I don't think it's Smithfield. But it's one of the bigger name brands. Yeah. It may be Prairie Fresh, maybe. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on the brand that's doing it. I don't know where you can get them besides Frankie.
You'll find that out.
Yeah, I'll find. Somebody will let us know. If y'all know what the deal is with that, it's probably, and if it's bad for me, I don't care.
Don't tell me.
You can tell me. I want to know. I want to know what it is. What's that process of getting that pork chop to that? Because, man, it is fine. Don't eat it every day, but, man, after you eat a whole ribeye and a whole beef loin, go ahead and eat it.
You also did a rack of lamb.
We also did 3 racks of lamb with that pork. Oh, it was crazy. It was We may not kill the biggest deer. We may not kill the most deer. We may not stay in the stand very long, but I bet you we eat better than any deer camp around.
I agree. I would say y'all have better food for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely beer camp. Food camp.
Yeah, y'all do food
I pride
camp.
myself in having food that good where we hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's social to me. I mean, of course I'd like to kill a big deer, but deer season's long in Mississippi. It's going to go all the way to the end of January. So we're going to probably put on some weight. You got to lean down before you go into deer season to put on that winter weight.
All them beers and all the steak, yeah.
Gold tops. I even had some camo can bush lights.
So I showed up Sunday. Y'all had cooked steaks on Friday night, pork loin and
lamb. I made a chimichurri. I used that same chimichurri that I had the tri-tip.
Yeah. So you had all that left over. I guess the lamb, there wasn't any lamb left.
No, there wasn't any lamb left over.
But steak's one of my favorite things ever. And I'm not that crazy about pork chops. But that pork chop, and I was just eating a few bites of meat out of the refrigerator cold. That pork chop was the best bite.
It was still good, wasn't it?
It was so good. I mean, I can't imagine what it would have tasted like when it first came on fire.
I was Mark told me, because they've been telling me about these for a few weeks, and I just never tried them.
Yeah, because it's pork chop.
Yeah, it's pork chop. I know, that's what I said. It's pork chop.
Yeah.
Man, how good.
It's pork
compared
chop.
to beef, like steak especially. It's not even, when I see it on the menu, I'd never order that at a steakhouse. Ever.
Me?
Has there ever been a time where you've ordered the pork chop over a ribeye?
Heck no.
No, I can cook that at home, We can get some grease hot and I can fry that,
It's a pork chop. I'd order that pork chop, though, if I knew it was going to taste like
too.
that. What y'all season it with?
Man, it was pretty simple. I think it was like he used grind. Wait, is it grit? No, he used grit. I think he even put a little of the chimichurri on it to kind of give it a little herb. And it's basically salt, pepper, garlic. That's the main flavor that you use. I don't think you'd go wrong with it. There wasn't any like barbecue rub or anything like that on it. It was more of a steakhouse, fire pit style grilling.
But eating the meat around that bone,
that was good.
It was so good.
It was so good, I almost drove back to town to see if I could get one for Thanksgiving to cook that. And if I didn't have to cook the turkey and the ham, we would have had that. And I bet,
Christmas.
That's what I was thinking. Do some of those for Christmas.
Your family would love it.
These are really, really good.
So, you want to talk about Memphis in May?
Oh, we've got some controversy in the M-Town. So, everybody knows that Memphis in May announced that
Memphis in May is the World Championship of Pork.
World Championship Pork Cooking Barbecue Contest of the world, because the world needs more barbecue contests.
And it's been around for
since late 70s, 79, something like that. A long time.
And they've done it at Tom Lee Park for the past forever.
Every year except for two. One was a flood and one was because of construction. And then COVID, they didn't have it. Then we went back to the park for 1 year.
Which is last year.
The park said they did over $1 million in damages. And so Memphis in May, and I guess whoever, the Riverfront Development, whoever that is, the Memphis City, they kind of butted heads and said, well, we're not having it at Tom Lee Park anymore. Probably never again as Memphis in May. And so Memphis in May is going to, they didn't know where they were going to have it after they said they were going to have it. Well, they sent out applications. They made an announcement. It's going to be back at Tiger Lane, which is the fairgrounds of Memphis, which is still inside the city limit.
Which is where they had it 2 years ago.
It's the two locations they have used previously when they've had to move it. And so they sent out applications. They got their date set, and it's open now. If you want to go cook Memphis in May, you can get your application in, sign up, and there's still going to be a contest. But last week, it was announced that there's a new contest going to be at Tom Lee Park, and I think it's the same weekend or close to the same weekend. They're calling it Memphis BBQ Fest, which is going to be different. And so they're going to be fighting for teams, I guess, and seeing what happens. But here, okay, so I have no insight. All I know is what I've seen, and most of it's been from Action News 5 or Fox 13 or some local.
Or gossiping on Facebook.
They're gossiping on Facebook. There's been no like super official stuff other than they do have some Memphis in May super veterans that are helping with this other contest that have announced, they love Memphis in May, but they're ready to go a different angle and try something new.
Really?
So I'm going to speculate as to what's going to happen.
I want to know what your speculation, because I got one too.
So here's what I think. Memphis, well, one, they're on the outs with Memphis in May. Those two people do not like each other.
The city of Memphis and the organization of
I don't
Memphis
think they
in
like
May.
each other very much.
No. I think it's been building for a while.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But they want to do something. And Memphis in May has always had, they brought a ton of tourism to Memphis, no doubt. And there's fans and stuff that come to the barbecue, but they really don't have great interaction. So I understand why somebody would want to step in and create an event that was more geared towards the fan interaction or the
people coming to eat barbecue.
Yeah, people coming to eat barbecue. That's what I call a fan. Maybe not fan, but
what would you call that? An attendee?
Attendee, more attendee. So when you see these big events in cities that draw hundreds of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, it's events where people come and they get tickets and they get to eat all the barbecue. And so and most of the time, those aren't centered around a huge barbecue competition. Mm-hmm. They are having a barbecue comp, but it's usually 10 to 15 teams, maybe 20, and they're more vending barbecue or cooking barbecue for the masses. And it's to see how much these teams money they can raise to, usually to see who the winner is. And they usually turn in something and somebody picks a winner. And then they announce it, and then everybody floods that booth. Think of these big rib fests, and you've probably seen them on TV, like the Reno Rib Cook-Off or whatever. But there's several of them now. Like St. Louis has one, Q in the Lou. There's the Windy City Smokeout. There's to be
one in Denver.
There's
High or something.
So several of these cities are doing it, and they're attracting tons of people.
It's very similar to what New Orleans does with Hogs for the Cause.
Kind of, along that way. Now, Hogs for the Cause is a little different because they do have a ton of teams.
Yeah.
So I'm speculating this event, this Memphis Fest or whatever it's going to be called, the Memphis Barbecue Fest, is going to be something along those lines where there's more public interaction, where people are definitely going to eat barbecue presented by each team. You're going to have the option to. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to have some kind of a competition to where one of the teams can win. So there's going to be that element to it. And I don't think it's for fundraising. It's probably for profit because it costs so much for them to have an event there. They're going to have to do something to raise the money. But if it works, you're going to have an admission price, and then either the admission price will be low enough that you can afford to buy something from each booth, or it's going to be you pay a higher dollar amount, you get in, and you just get to go eat, and then you probably vote for your favorite one, or they're going to figure. I don't know how they're going to work it because of what they're doing now. They've asked some of these teams and some other people in barbecue, and I didn't get asked, but they've asked them to put their input so they can design a contest. So is it a bad thing? I don't think so. I think what should have happened was Memphis in May should have figured out a way to do this a long time ago, and they would have had the premier barbecue event in the world. Yes. Because you look at even Australia's doing it with these live meat stocks.
I want to go to meat stock.
I mean, they're doing all kinds of things like that. And barbecue's super, super popular. Yeah. I mean, so why would people not want to draw that crowd and feed off that and spread the word more than being an event to where it's exclusive, to where, you can come, but you got to stand on the sidewalk and watch if you don't know somebody.
Yeah, that's the thing about Memphis in May is every team has a booth, and it's a private booth. You can't just walk in there unless you're personally invited. Mm-hmm. So a lot of attendees at Memphis in May walk around and they can't eat the barbecue. They can't interact with anybody. There's not anything for them to do.
Other than buy corn dogs and whatever booths what other vendors they have there. So the deal's always been, it's a health department issue. Teams can't, we can't have teams just giving stuff to the public because it's a liability. But so what they'll do, what happens with that, I think, and they're going to have to work with the local health department, but whatever teams are in there, they're going to have to make sure they're up to standard. So that's going to be a challenge, but that's also going to eliminate the average guy because he doesn't have the food service training, doesn't have the liability insurance, because I imagine each team has to carry some. And
I think you might be going a little too far.
Well, this is like if you were really think tanking it and sitting down and trying to draw out possible scenarios or cover all your bases type stuff.
There's just so many events that do it. I'm sure they figured it out at other places.
I would imagine both of them. If you look at some of these events, I know personally some people that do those events, and they're usually geared with the restaurant. It's a barbecue team. Yeah. But they're geared with another restaurant. It's not many just like hey, we're a group of buddies and we just want to see if we can cook the best barbecue. No, it takes it. You got to imagine if you're cooking, you know, I don't know, 400 or 500 slabs of ribs over the course of a couple of days. You got to have the equipment to do it. You got to have the manpower to do it. It's not just one head cook and a bunch of chief drinkers. You know, this is work. People put in effort to do those. So in those big events, it's going to take a lot more. But I think that's what would fit in that park. Now they've downscaled the park so much; it's just not conducive to do that Memphis in May, several hundred team event anymore. So they're going to scale it down to where they can get more people in there, and they can have a few teams or something like that. But I don't know. This is all me. I don't have any insight. That's just speculation. So let's do a HowToBBQRight event like that.
I'd love to. Actually, I would love to do a HowToBBQRight event with Meet Dave and do a kind of a comedian and barbecue event.
Yeah, we're going to have to kick that around. And
I've been thinking about it.
Bring in a comedy, like several comedians, and then pair it with some barbecue one day or something like that.
I heard about that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's in my.
It's in your brain.
It's in there.
It's got the cogs churning.
You know, I like to bite off more than I can chew a lot of times.
We just need some sponsors like Blue Plate.
Speaking of Blue Plate, how much Blue Plate did you use over the Thanksgiving holidays?
I'm good for at least a jar. I used some of them. I did make mac and cheese ago on that with that steak dinner we did. Homemade. We made homemade mac and cheese, not the casserole time, but it was the.
Oh, like
you
made
make
a
roux, and you
make
make a cheese sauce, and you boil your noodles, and you put them over it, and it's cheesy and creamy, and you don't have to bake it and put the topping on it. It was awesome, but it did have some Blue Plate in it.
I think mayonnaise.
Deviled eggs have Blue Plate in it.
If you're not adding Blue Plate mayonnaise to your mac and cheese.
You made mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. It was dang good. I know you had some Blue Plate in there.
I guess part of the recipe. It makes it creamy. It gives it a little zestiness. I'm not saying you add a bunch, just enough.
Just enough.
I used at least a jar.
We're good for it. Oh, I didn't include turkey sandwiches. Rolls and turkey with Blue Plate. I didn't include all that.
Does that count?
No.
That's just general consumption.
That's just general. It was just a condiment at that point. It's not an ingredient. When does Blue Plate become an ingredient?
That's a good question.
If
it's part of the recipe.
It's part of the recipe. Yeah. Like if it's just going on a sandwich, it's just a condiment.
Yeah.
But if you're putting it in the dish that you're preparing, I guess, whether it's cold or hot.
Yeah, if you're putting it in your chili, it's a condiment. If you're putting it on your black-eyed peas, condiment.
What if you're making a condiment out of it? Like it goes into like a Dijon
mix
or
dish,
something like that?
Yeah, then it's an ingredient.
Cool.
Like my blue ranch, I make for wings. Yeah. That's more of an ingredient instead of.
Then it's an ingredient.
Yeah.
That becomes
do you consider blue cheese dressing or ranch dressing a condiment when you're eating wings? Because it's really a side to me. You got to have it.
Like a dip.
Yeah.
It's more of a dip. Yeah.
More of a dip. Which would be a condiment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's an condiment.
A dip's not a condiment.
I feel like there's a
dip is a dish.
I feel like there's blue cheese dip and then there's a blue cheese dressing and they're just different. So I'm gonna go. Right. I'm gonna go condiment.
That's true.
So
it's a dressing.
the dip that I make, like for wings, I do not make a dressing. I hate a runny dressing.
Yeah, you want it.
I want my wing. If I stick it in there, it's gonna stand up. It's a dip. Or the celery, it's gonna dip it. I'm not drizzling on anything.
I know we've talked about this before, but real quick, give your blue cheese ranch recipe, which is kind of technically mine, but
it is.
You stole it.
1 cup of sour cream. Well, the most important part, 1 cup of Blue Plate mayonnaise. Real mayonnaise, quality since 1927.
If you're choosing mayonnaise this weekend.
1 cup of Daisy sour cream. And any other brand of sour cream will work. I'm not partial to one.
I am.
Which one do you like?
If you use store-bought sour cream, it's runnier. I don't know why. It's one of those things that you have to buy the name brand.
I've got a tip for that. When you pick up your sour cream at the store, shake that little cup. If it's sloshy, don't buy it. You want a solid one to feel solid in there.
This guy. It's just like, I feel like you have so many shopping hacks, man. Like I can see why you spend hours in the store.
Imagine trying to live up to his standards.
They're not standards. It's just common sense. This is like, to me, that's common sense. That's common sense. Shake your sour cream before you put it in your buggy.
I think
Nobody else does that. I don't care if it's French onion dip. Have you ever bought a runny ranch or French onion dip or green onion dip?
Yeah.
The runny ones suck. You want the ones that are solid when you shake them. I don't want to open that lid up and I got to pour off all this juice and then it's all loose in there like it got too hot on the truck ride over to the Kroger. I'm right. Tell me I'm
not wrong.
I need you to start doing like training exercises at Kroger for the clickless people.
No, they could definitely use it.
Don't even get him started on the click list, people.
They'll put anything. That's why I don't do click list. They'll bring you the greenest, but I didn't even know bananas were that green when they popped out of the banana tree. They're as green as this bush behind me here. And I was like, man, you don't, who buys them kind of bananas?
They did bring green bananas.
You can't eat them for 3 weeks. It's like if I wanted to eat a banana today, heck no, man, I'd run right through you.
It's for banana bread for Christmas.
It's got to be. They might be ready by Christmas. We got a month on those. The shelf life of green banana. I don't know how long it is.
Yeah, how long is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to put them in a brown paper bag with a potato or whatever makes them ripen when you do it. They pulled those jerkers real early.
And then
the little Chiquita's a baby on the sticker. She ain't even a woman yet. I ain't joking.
So real quick, let's go through it. Mayonnaise, 1 cup of mayonnaise.
Cup of mayonnaise, cup of sour cream, packet of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, the dip mix, and then 4 ounces of crumbled blue cheese. Or you can buy the little block and crumble it yourself, but I usually buy it in the tub already crumbled.
And if you can find Murray's brand, it's really good.
It's really good. Then I usually put a couple dashes of hot sauce, some cranks of hot pepper or black pepper, fresh cracked. You don't really need salt in it, so I wouldn't put like AP or extra salt. Taste it, and if you think it needs salt, but that Hidden Valley Ranch pack's got so much salt in it that you really don't need it. But you got to mix it all up, and then you can't eat it for at least an hour. It needs to sit, but usually a couple hours is best. But that's it. It's easy.
It's like the best blue cheese dressing ever.
It's so good. And it's a dip. It's not a dressing.
Yeah. Because you
can put it on a salad, though. It's not bad.
It'd be pretty thick. But
you have to put your salad in a bowl, put some of that, and toss.
Yeah.
It's like a pre-dressed salad. That's how I like to do salad anyway.
This kind of is perfect for my next topic, Christmas party food. So this week you did a crab dip. Fancy Cajun crab dip.
You know what makes that so fancy? The expensive lump crab. Y'all ever bought lump crab in the little cup at Kroger?
The good stuff.
It's high. It's like $18.99 a little cup. When I said I was going to do a crab dip, I should have changed that to like shrimp or something else.
Imitation crab.
Yeah, imitation crab. But I've bought the fancy lump crab. It's been rinsed and picked. I picked the extra picket just in case there's any shells in it.
And you put like 2 pounds of it.
Yeah, no, it was like
or a pound.
There's 6-ounce cups, and I put 3 because I really was going to put 16 ounces, which would be 2 cups, but it don't math out like that. So I used 3 cups. So it's 18 ounces of lump blue crab, but it was dead on. I mean, it was a lot of crab. But if I'm eating a fancy crab dip, I want a lot of crab in it. I don't want to just be eating blue plate and sour cream cheese. But that's all you do. You take room temperature cream cheese. And I did see it. This ain't my hack, Tyler, but I saw this hack on TikTok. If you're in a hurry to get cream cheese room temp, get you a bowl of hot water and don't unwrap the cream cheese. Put it in there and just let it hang out for like 30 seconds to 60
in the
seconds.
water.
In the water. Take it out. It's not the water doesn't get through the pack, but instantly, like in a minute, you have room temperature cream cheese that's perfect. Don't stick it in the microwave. Don't do any of that stuff. It'll melt too much. But that warm water gets it right to room temperature in about a minute.
Because that's true. If you put it in the microwave, it's going to get too runny, and then it doesn't mix well.
It doesn't mix well. But you know why you want room temperature?
So it'll mix.
Yeah. Those stiff cream cheese right out of the refrigerator, it's hard. You're going to have to work that elbow. And when you got a broke arm, you can't do it. You put it in a stand mixer, I guess, but you can't.
It's hard. I got to prop it up. Sorry. I'm not just trying to show it off.
Look at them fingers. You don't want that blood to pool. But you mix up your room temperature cream cheese, about a third of a cup, quarter cup of mayo and sour cream, and go ahead and get that mixed in. And then I hit it with some Worcestershire, some hot sauce. Got to season it with some Cajun seasoning, so I put the king crawl to it, a little bit of AP for some salt, pepper, garlic.
You did shallots?
I did a shallot. Like I just take I don't really measure a shallot. My shallots are usually about golf ball size at Kroger, and I just take one of those and mince it up real fine and put that in there.
And why do you do that?
I just like the little texture it gives it and the little onion flavor, but it's a mild onion flavor. Shallot's kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super oniony. I mean, I guess you could use regular onion, but it'd be kind of strong. You'd have an onion dip then.
Yeah,
which
you'd almost
onion
need
dip's
to
good, but
sweat it out a little bit.
yeah, if you're gonna do that. But I didn't cook the shallot. It goes in raw because this thing's gonna bake. And I take all that lump crab that we kind of picked through just to make sure there's no shells in it. Strain it real good because it's in some water, a little bit of juice. And then I fold that in. And once you get all that dressing part mixed up, the dip part, mix all that up really good first. And then put your crab over in it because you just want to gently fold the crab in because it'll break up. If you go to stirring it, it's going to, you're not even going to know it's crab. It's going to just kind of shred.
You're not going to have the lumps.
But you want the lump pieces. So you fold that in. Before you start folding it, I take about a quarter of a fresh lemon and squeeze over it just to get a little acidity and to brighten it up a little bit. And the lemon goes also on the crab. And so you fold that together and put it in a little greased casserole bacon dish and put it on the, I put it on the pellet grill at 350. You could throw it in the oven, whatever you want, but you need 350 for about 35, 40 minutes.
It was golden bubbly.
It was golden and bubbly. It's, use your eyes on that. Every oven cooks a little different, but usually on the pellet grill, it's 45 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And then serve it up with, it's good with pita chips. It's good with toast, you could use those little crostinis.
Yeah,
you could use
like
Frito scoops. You could use whatever you wanted to serve it with.
I like the little bread.
Little toasted bread.
Toasted bread.
Yeah. Like a French bread sliced thin.
Baguette, I guess.
Yeah, baguette. That's it. But man, that's a great holiday party dip. It's a hot dip.
Well, you need
hot and cold.
So my thing is you got to have 2 to 3 dips. If you're throwing a party, you need 2 to 3 dips. At least one hot, one cold. You're going to need some sort of slider or meat served alongside a bread.
A roll.
Yep. Or bread. And that needs to either be pork or beef. This is my plate.
No turkey here.
No turkey here.
Then,
but you also need chicken. And you can do you could even do chicken nuggets. Not nuggets, but
like Chick-fil-A little chicken bites?
Chicken bites.
Popcorn chicken bites?
Yeah, you can do any kind of chicken. Chicken skewers, bacon wrapped chicken.
What about chicken wings?
You can do chicken wings. And then you need some sort of board, like a charcuterie board or meat and cheese or
fruit board.
Who wants fruit?
Yeah.
It's a party we're talking about.
I'm thinking about it, yeah. You know where the best place to go get cheese is for your cheese board, like in the meats? If you really want to get a bunch of stuff and do it cheap.
Aldi.
If y'all are slipping on Aldi, man, we might want to take that out, Tyler. I don't want to go to Aldi and get all my stuff. They're like, man, where'd you get all this? Did you go to a fancy place? Yep. It's German.
I love Aldi.
Me too.
I wish we had one in Hernando.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Or Coldwater. Or Senatobia.
They have good chicken salad.
They get all kinds of good stuff at
They've
Aldi.
got good little dips. And
they deliver and they do quick click and pull too. You know what you're getting if you get somebody to click and pull your Aldi. They don't have as many selections for that person to get. I just don't know where they get the people because usually that store only has 2. It's like a Dollar General.
It's a
they only have
different
like
shopper.
2 people in there.
They don't work for Aldi.
So it's like an Instacart
Instacart
shopper. It's not like Kroger has Kroger employees doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ones that you see with the double stack blue baskets at Kroger, they drive me crazy.
The Instacart people working for tips, so they're looking out for you. They're not looking out for the store.
And I like that experience better because they text you. They don't have this. Would you like this? Or what do you think? I'm like, I can talk to these people. Regular Kroger people aren't doing it. They're just going to be like substitute, and it's going to be something off the wall, or they're going to be like didn't have it. And I don't usually allow substitutions because you never know what you're going to get.
That's true. Did you see that? Talking about charcuterie boards. James posted a Christmas tree charcuterie. Did you see that?
I did.
Is that the one somebody said I need to step my game up?
Yes.
They got me on that vertical one now.
It looked good.
So how do you think they do that? It's got from what I'm thinking, it's like some kind of paper towel roll or a Christmas paper roll, and they put aluminum foil around it that they can stick stuff to with a toothpick or something.
I kind of thought it would be like a one of those floral
styrofoam
thing.
Yeah.
Or some sort of styrofoam thing.
That would make sense.
Could even be a block of cheese or just something that you could stick something.
A hell of a block of cheese.
Man, yeah. A big block of cheese. Right. I don't know, but it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of did y'all ever see the Swine Life video where he did the Christmas chub? Where it was kind of like a big old Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Mark did it was bologna.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. Speaking of the community, did y'all see the guy that watched the podcast this year for like 2,088 minutes?
He was like top 1% of the Shoutout. Man, what was his name? Did you look that up? I saw that.
Let me pull it up real quick. It is Elijah Poole, and I did the math, and that is 133 hours.
Wow.
Of listening.
That's a lot of time on the road. Moving America.
That's crazy.
I don't think anybody should listen to us that much.
It's pretty entertaining, I bet. Never know what you're going to get.
I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you listening like that.
I'm sorry.
Number one listener.
I apologize.
I apologize for what you hear. We try. I will give it that. We try.
So, you want to talk about your favorite Christmas party foods?
I like them all, but yeah.
You're all over the place today.
My favorite Christmas party food? Does Christmas tree dip count?
Christmas tree dip.
It's not even cooked, I don't think.
It didn't.
Have y'all ever had that?
It's really good.
I have a thing for like Christmas trees. And I hadn't tried the chocolate one yet. Have you?
No.
I know you bought some, but they disappeared. Like they were up here. I saw them on the desk. Tyler, are you the one eating all the Christmas tree cake?
No.
There was there was a couple boxes of
like
regular
3
ones,
boxes,
like the white ones, and then there was a couple boxes of the chocolate ones. And the chocolate one, I mean, all of them are gone, but I was like, man.
So here's what happened. The boxes were closed for like 2 days, and nobody opened them. Nobody would touch them. And then I come in the kitchen. My son had beat me to the kitchen, and he had already opened the box and took one out for him, one out for his brother. So I was like, okay, sure, you guys can
what they're for to eat.
And then like 2 days later, I think we filmed, so I wasn't up here. We came back, they were gone. So all the vultures in the office needed was for the box to get opened, and then they were gone.
You need to order a case of each.
A case. I did order a few more boxes. Just they go out of stock really quickly, and they don't get any more in. So
they're so good.
So how do you make Christmas cake dip?
I don't know.
It's pretty much cream cheese,
it's
blended Christmas tree cake.
You break up them and then you stick some on top too, don't you? I wish I did. I had it for the first time. I think it was Claire Rodney's, your college roommate, brought it to a party. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. I mean, it will make you sick, though. You can get sick off Christmas tree cake.
We did our dip contest last year, and it did not, like, I entered it, but mine didn't turn out that good for some reason.
Yeah, because I think we tried to make it at the house one time, and it was not right. It was not the way Claire made it.
And when it sits, it starts to change like a pinkish color.
Yeah, that's what ours looked like. I was like, this ain't right.
But if it's fresh, it's good.
Maybe
it was nailed it.
It wasn't that bad.
It didn't look like Christmas tree cake did.
I wonder if you're supposed to like blend it. I'll research this. I'll let you know.
You're gonna perfect that for me for Christmas?
Yes.
That's the one thing I want.
I can handle that. I think I can do.
But you got to do it one arm. That's gonna be tough.
I'm learning.
We're gonna have to get you a helper.
I'm learning how to do a lot of stuff one armed.
That left arm's gonna be
mean.
Mean, yeah.
Anything else? I thought you had you have a recipe called bacon wrap. You have a bacon wrap shrimp recipe.
Yeah,
that would be really good for a holiday party.
It's really good. It's really good. They do this sweet Thai chili sauce. Is that what the one that makes the little sauce that goes on it and glaze it? That's an excellent one. I'm just trying to think. Those don't count as holiday to me. I consider them breakfast.
Yeah, but they're holiday breakfast.
Wintertime. Like as soon as it starts getting frosty, like right now, sausage balls, sausage balls, sausage balls.
Those are one of my favorite things.
You know which ones are good? Just the old frozen Tennessee Pride makes them that we sell here around our area, and they're heavier on sausage than they are cheese. I guess because it's a sausage company, but they're not too bready, and that's what I like about them.
They're really good in a pinch.
I'll tell you what, if you got an iron skillet you need to season, cook you some sausage balls in it, man. It'll season up an iron skillet good.
They cook out a lot of grease. Yeah.
The perfect thing for cooking them is that griddle. It's like a cast iron griddle.
It's flat.
And it'll hold a bag of them, and it's probably 24 little sausage balls, and you pop them in the oven, and they come out. When they're hot, I'm not crazy about them cold.
Yeah,
but when they first come out of the oven, they are awesome.
I mean, I'll eat them cold, but they're best when they're hot. The thing about the cast iron is it actually creates like a little crust.
Yeah, on the bottom.
On the bottom, and if you get it halfway through, you can flip it and get a crust on both sides.
Do you like that flat, crusty part where it's been touching the cast iron?
That's the best part.
Is it?
Do you not?
I like it when they're poofy round and just the bottom of them's flat. Have you ever air fried them? I wonder if you could air fry them.
Yeah, Cheyenne told me to try air frying them, and they were okay.
Yeah,
but cast irons.
I did air fry something over Thanksgiving that I did not know you could air fry.
So talk about that.
So I ordered these pork rind pellets, which are they're pork meat skins or pork skins, and it's dehydrated pork skin, and you fry them. You've probably seen them like at the fair or people cooking them in big kettles.
When you go to any place and people are cooking bags of pork rinds.
Fresh pork. And they're so much better than buying the ones at the convenience store or grocery store. They don't even come close.
What do they look like? Explain.
It's a little rectangle of pork skin. It looks like
real hard and dark.
Super hard, almost like a rock. You can't hardly break them. But I guess they somehow they render down all the fat and they dehydrate them and I guess they boil them and then they dry them and they dehydrate them and they cut them. And it makes these little chips of dehydrated pork skin. And then when you pop them by putting them in hot grease, they expand and blow up, and they're sizzling and they're
almost
crispy.
Immediately.
Yeah, it takes about a minute is all it takes. You can only cook like a handful of them at a time because they'll blow up in your fryer. So a buddy of mine, Charles, told me that you could do them in the air fryer, and I said, no way. You cannot cook these things and they be halfway as good because I've seen the microwave ones.
Yeah,
and they're not good. I've bought them; they suck.
I put one in Michael's stocking.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Year. Yeah.
And I was like, "That's what this is going to be like." Charles is crazy. He said, "No, man, it was like $350." First he told me like $400 for 8 minutes, and then I said, "I bet I'm gonna try them, see if they're any good." And so as I was putting mine in there, he's like, "Scratch that." $350 for 7 minutes, and it was like $350. It's perfect at $350 for 4.5 to 5 minutes.
Was he actively working?
Yeah, he was doing
recipe?
it while I was doing it. Yeah, and we were texting back and forth, and so I popped my first batch and I put a few to me in there. Them things blow up in that air fryer. You got to preheat your air fryer a little bit, throw them in there, and there's no oil. They got to be better for you, right? Because they're not in the oil. It's just no carbs. I mean, it's pork fat. I'm sure the fat content's probably bad.
Oh, it's good for you.
Yeah, it's got to be better than chips, better than Cheetos.
Yeah.
But anyway, they blow up and do everything they're supposed to in the air fryer. But if you put too many, it'll blow them up into the top of it. And I had one catch on fire. It's probably not recommended by the air fryer at all. Ninja does not recommend that.
That one stunk. That one stunk up the house.
Oh, yeah, it was burning up. I was like, what's that? Man, this ain't right. And I looked, and it was just up in there on fire. I was like, oh, crap. So I had to get some tongs and get it out. So I got my ratio down of how many to put in the little pot.
So what's your time and temps?
It was like 5 minutes at 4.5, 5 minutes at 350.
And that's it?
That's it. And you have fresh pork skins. And you can cook, space them out in the basket. And you can probably put, I don't know, a dozen in there. So, I mean, it's
depending on your basket.
Yeah. I did a pan full in a matter of, a few minutes. It didn't take too long. And seasoned them with AP as soon as they come out. I was like, man.
That's my favorite way.
It is so much. It's easy because a lot of times if I'm frying them, I'm going to make a bunch and bag them up. But if you just want a little snack, a little pork rind snack or something, and you're not going to eat that much, or you're cooking them just for you or a couple of people, that's an easy way to do it. Try them.
They're not as good as the deep fried ones, I would say. Like, they don't have that flavor.
Yeah, you don't get that peanut flavor.
You don't get
peanut
that
oil flavor.
But they're pretty good.
Like, I fried some at camp last weekend. Man, seasoned them as soon as they come out of that hot grease, and they're so good.
Y'all do all kinds of seasoning on them, but my favorite is either just plain. I don't know. I guess they're just such good quality, and the oil's good quality, but my favorite is plain or the AP.
Yeah.
Like, real simple.
They're really good.
You'll do some with hot rub that y'all really like.
If I ever lose my barbecue job, you're going to see me on the side of the road selling meat skins, bagging them up.
Going to fairs.
Yeah, just bagging them up and selling them.
Got you a big old...
seasoned meat skins.
Got you a big old paddle.
Yeah, stirring them.
Cast iron.
Yeah, like kettle corn, except it's meat skins. Do you eat them? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I just edited that video for Buck Junkies, and they look really, really good.
So, yeah, you're going to release it sometime?
Yeah, it should be releasing next week.
Probably on TikTok on Buck Junkies, right?
You got it.
That's something to look forward to.
You know what's good with them?
What?
Pimento cheese.
Oh, I love it.
Use them as a cracker. You pimento cheese and a little country pleasing smoked sausage on top. Oh, man.
It's got to be homemade pimento cheese and to make it like the absolute best, homemade pimento and cheese and those fresh fried pork rinds.
Yep.
Throw a little jalapeno or spicy pickle in the mix.
It's a heck of an appetizer. I don't know if you can pull those off for a holiday party.
Yeah.
Be kind of hard.
That's not really a holiday party food. We kind of got off that.
Yeah.
I had a list of food.
Oh, for holiday. We got plenty of time. We got another podcast, right? How many more podcasts are we doing before it?
2.
2 more, and we'll be wrapping 23.
Yeah.
Man, this year flew by.
Are you going to smoke any cheese this year?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm definitely going to do summer sausage and stuff, and that's a perfect time to do cheese because you keep the temp so low.
What temperature do you smoke summer sausage
We
at?
started out at like 140, and you step it up to like 150, and then finish it at like 160.
Okay.
So
For how long?
it just till the internal temperature gets to 160.
What's the ballpark of that?
I don't know, 4 or 5 hours
Okay.
usually, something like that.
How
Cheese
long-
usually don't take that long.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking. How long does cheese usually take? Like an hour or two?
Yeah, a couple hours. You're just trying to get some smoke flavor in it real low. I don't do it for a long time. If you get too hot, it'll melt the cheese. So it's kind of, and really I only do it in the cold weather, but it makes really good Christmas presents because you can wrap it up. You know, once you kind of bloom it, you need to put it in the refrigerator, wrap it up tight in plastic wrap, and just let it sit and let that smoke flavor kind of develop.
Is that what it's called, blooming?
That's what I don't know the official term,
Okay.
but I threw that in there. You do bloom your sausage, like when it gets through, you let it kind of hang out. But yeah, that's what I do, and I wrap it up, and then you can vacuum seal it and put a bow on it, and give somebody a smoked cheese assortment for Christmas. I like giving food as gifts like
Heck
that
yeah.
that people like.
I like getting food
Yeah.
as gifts like that.
That summer sausage makes really good gifts. The best one's probably the Christmas ham.
yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't like a Christmas ham as a gift? I know I would.
Well, Mal, that's about all I have for us today.
All right. Well, Shell, Tyler, we got anything going on in the community? or
Yeah. We're
anything? What's
doing
up?
a contest right now.
Jump out.
Yeah, so we have a Christmas contest going on in the community right now. So if you want to, head on over to facebook.com/group/H2Q community, and there's a pinned post at the top from HowToBBQRight. And pretty much this will go till Monday, December 11th. You have till 8:59 Central Standard Time at AM, that is. And all you have to do is post your favorite, like the best holiday dish that you make. So that can be a main dish, that could be prime rib, brisket, that could be hash brown casserole.
I've seen a lot of prime rib.
Oh, yeah. Lots of prime rib. I
Yeah.
think there's already tons of comments on there. And then once you post your comment, you want people to vote for yours. So try to get the most appealing picture or video that you have of it. And then y'all can, a cheat way to do it is to invite your family and friends into the group and have them vote on your stuff. But then also go down and vote for the other ones that you think look really good. And then first place will get a $250 HowToBBQRight gift card. Second place, $200. Third place is
$100.
Thank you. And then fourth through 10th place will get a $25.
It's big money this time.
Big money.
Awesome.
We're wrapping it with a
Yeah, it's our
Will
Christmas
they get it
giveaway.
before Christmas?
What's a gift card?
When's the date?
We just said all this.
they'll get
I
it.
was like listening to all the details of that.
It was
Usually,
the 11th.
yeah, it's
Well,
the 11th.
yeah.
It's an e-gift card, so we'll get those emailed over, and hopefully you'll get some of your packages in time for the
Heck
big
yeah.
day.
So you can use it at any time. You can save it for spring and use it.
Yeah.
You can use it for Christmas.
But yeah, y'all go enter that and vote for some of your favorites down in the comments if you're not going to be in it.
Yeah, if you hadn't been over and visited the community, go check it out and give it a like because there's a lot of good info in there and people post stuff all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information and a lot of good inspiration too.
Yeah.
Like that Christmas tree charcuterie board.
I want to see some people do that. I bet you we could
I
do some
wanna see
nailed it's on that.
I kind of want to do that.
I think we need some instructions on how to do it.
Yeah, I need to watch a YouTube
Yeah.
video or something, and then make a YouTube.
That would be a
video.
challenge. Like buy all this stuff and then have everybody at the office try to bake one and take pictures of it. You got so long. These are the ingredients you pull from. You got to duplicate this right here. Go. You got 30 minutes.
And then we all just eat everybody's.
Yeah.
Is it just strictly appearance contest?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, all the ingredients are going to be the same. It ain't like you do anything to them. It's not like you're going to cook stuff and put on it.
That's a good idea. That's a fun little party game.
Yeah. Make that. Duplicate that. Don't tell them how to do it. Just have some stuff there.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Mark would be cheating. He'd be Googling it.
Hey, I'm going to be on talking with Greg Rempe this coming Tuesday night. It's the first Tuesday in December on the Barbecue Central show, and I'm sure we'll be talking. He'll be asking questions about the Memphis thing, which
Oh yeah.
You know, all I can do is say what I think it's going to be. Hopefully it'll help it. Well, tell them where they can find us, Shell.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram. Tyler?
You can find me on...
You don't have to. You can find him in the community.
Yeah, Tyler Caravallo on the community. That's where you can find me at.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all listening today. We will be back next week for another episode. We gone.